Hey everyone, welcome to the PGA here on DK where we're talking golf. Joining me, Jamie HInks from DK Ryder, Rory Anderson, YourGolfTravel, and Edo Delamonte also joining us. What a week in golf it's been. Hey, there was a little tournament called the Masters. Not sure if you've seen it. Guys, Rory, let's talk to you first. Masters. It was a windy day. Jordan Spieth, man, he had an unfortunate tournament.
Well, I kind of think, despite his putting, which is obviously always really good, and he's got his head screwed on, I think he'd gotten away with quite a few loose swings in not just that round, but in the days building up to that. He was hitting it in the trees and it was bouncing back out into play. And I think I wasn't expecting to get a 7 on a par 3, but it was maybe an accident waiting to happen.
Well, we talked about that hole when we were doing our picks last week, and I said the 12th hole, hey, this is one you got to watch. And it is the hole. Like, you really have to be careful of it. And a lot of guys had some problems on it, but that was just... Yeah, he was playing like a Jedi. I remember I was chatting with Jamie. He was zoned. He was zoned, and then it was just owned. Edo, what did you think watching the Masters?
Well, it was very entertaining, but I switched off because I thought that Spieth was just dominating. He was, you
switched off. You didn't even get to watch all the action.
Oh no, 6-7 under. Then I start receiving messages being like, "Turn it on again," and I'm like, I can see Willett, and it was, he was really good as well. Willett, like 3 particular holes, he was absolutely spectacular. Then on the last one, he was like, is he going to go for a birdie or is he going to go for a par? And eventually he settled for 5 under, and that was enough. But it was, I didn't actually get to see the meltdown until afterwards, and that was priceless.
It's classic. We'll show some of it. Yeah.
Norman-esque 96, obviously when Faldo won. Norman choked at 12 as well, and yeah.
Jamie, British golf. Danny Willett from Sheffield. This kid comes out of nowhere. Wife pops out a kid 2 weeks earlier. There's some good motivation. He almost never been there. How was your Masters?
I was incredibly close to switching off as well, but I still had Westwood right up there in my team, and that is basically the reason I kept it on, because I was like,
oh yeah,
I think he's still got a chance, especially that putt he put on one of the holes. I was like, that's cracking. And yeah, love it. Great for Danny Willett, who of course retweeted us as well.
Danny Willett retweeted on DraftKings. So he's obviously a DraftKings UK fan. Thank you, Danny Willett. You're awesome. DraftKings loves you. Other crazy shots. Oosthuizen, did you see this? The hole-in-one where it ricochets. Yeah. What are the odds?
I thought both were going to go in.
Yeah. Imagine, though, like that.
Would they have both been? They'd have both been holes in one.
They would have
both gone in.
First one would be replaced. So JB Holmes' ball would have to come back out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could you imagine that, though?
Heartbreaker.
That would be such a crazy heartbreaker you have it. And then you've got to look at, remember Ernie Els on day one? Hole 1.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm sure Ernie Els is going, well, I hope everyone forgot about that. And then, of course, Jordan Spieth, and he's like, hey, everyone forgot about Ernie Els here. A few guys shit the bed. Ricky Fowler. What the hell? I don't know. I don't like you anymore, Ricky Fowler. I chose you on my team.
Adam Scott as well.
Adam Scott,
The amount of expectation beforehand, and yeah. So even Day a little bit, because I think we expected more of Jason Day.
Yeah.
He came back towards the end.
Jason Day did come back, and obviously he's a sort of favorite guy this week. Let's take a look at one of the favorite images. If we can bring it up here. He's like, if I stare hard enough at the back of his head, it'll blow up and I win. We'll move on to the next one. Here's another famous meme that was going on the 12th hole. You know the crying Michael Jordan meme? Someone turned it into the 12th hole. That's awesome, isn't it? Oh, amazing. Just hit it so bad. The crying Jordan meme always works. We'll move on to another one. I don't know if you're watching PJ Willett. He is Willett's brother. And some of the stuff he had to say, he was hilarious. So Spieth is lining his putt up. If I'm quick, I can get a beer, go to the toilet, and paint the spare room before he hits it. And then he keeps moving on as you go along. If the boy does what he should, I'll be able to say I've shared a bath with a Masters winner. Brilliant. And keeps going on. You can tell he's drinking as the night goes on. My boy's got massive bollocks. 3-putt and you might as well stay in America. Green makes you look fat. Refuse the jacket. Spieth, you've won before, won your neck in. And the best one right at the end, speechless. I once punched that kid in the head for hurting my pet rat. Now look, BBC Golf the Masters. He went from like 2,000 followers to like 40,000 followers by the end of the tournament. So of course people are asking, how did you guys do? DraftKings, you guys pick your 6-man lineups for the money, and you make your things and all the stuff, and how'd you do? Well, let's check the lineup. I don't even know. What the hey? Oh my. goes for me for buying Canadian. Thanks, Mike Weir. Jamie won 346 points, very clear of everybody. That's why Jamie's our staff writer. Edo, 280.5. I was very close behind you.
My face.
I love it. Well, because you never really stare at the camera, Edo. You're very, you got your head down in the note, so it's very hard to get a picture of you. And look at smiling Rory, 217 points.
What am I so happy about?
Coming in last.
After that, I don't know.
I came in fourth.
You came in.
Top 5 finish.
Yeah.
You did. It was very good.
I've got a point.
He does, so it was very good. So DraftKings, I mean, we gave away a lot of money last weekend. Millionaire, someone became a millionaire. I forget his name, but he was a millionaire. Do you know his name?
No.
Millionaire! That's your name.
I was the millionaire here.
You were the millionaire here. Yes, Jamie was the millionaire here. I mean, 346 points. Nothing like my 389 the week before, but whatever. It's not like we're keeping
harder
track
that's the
of points.
Masters, you know.
Is it, though? Really? Is it not? I'm not
It's not
sure.
when you can just pick Lee Westwood and win.
Oh, I can pick anyone and win. That's what I picked this weekend because it's the RBC Heritage Classic. That's right, Royal Bank of Canada Heritage Classic because we have so much heritage. We're going to Hilton Head, South Carolina. It's 7,099 yards. They've rejigged this course. They made it a little different. It's a shooting course. You know, it's shooting, putting, maybe bring out the driver 3 or 4 times. Rory, bring us through this course. What do you think of this one?
It does, well, it's very popular and it's one I'd definitely like to play one day. But yeah, like you said, it's all about picking targets. It's probably going to be quite windy, like it was at the Masters, which is quite unusual for Augusta. So maybe players who had done well at Augusta might carry that into this week too.
Yeah, sometimes the wind, obviously a deity maybe has a problem with politics. I think that happens sometimes, I'm not sure. What do I know? Edo, what do you think about this course, Hilton Head? What are the things to look for?
Well, it was designed by Pete Dye, who brought dignity, shall we say, back to the short par 4s. And he's designed, for example, the Players, TPI Sawgrass, that's him. So it's a very tricky one. You don't want people sort of scrambling too much. You want to be accurate on the fairways. You want people to be good at their putting. Driving accuracy, tee to green. And I've looked at something else. I've noticed bizarre, something that maybe comes up more than in other tournaments. It does seem to favour the usual suspects, shall we say.
Yeah.
Same old guys who end up always at the top. We're talking people like McDowell, Kuchar, Jerry Kelly, Brendan de Jong, Luke Donald, Chris Kirk, Billy Horschel. All their names seem to pop up repeatedly, which I thought was quite interesting because in other tracks you'll see people do well, then somehow disappear, then come back. Here, it's very consistent.
Jamie, it's also one of these things when you look at it, this used to be a week where people relax and you don't do anything, and it's sort of like, oh, it's after the Masters and time to regroup. But now, with so many guys winning every week, you've had new winners, Willett, Finau, Herman. This is a chance with the Olympics and the Ryder Cup. What are guys looking to try to make? Because you want to make the Olympic team or the Ryder Cup team. And obviously, Willett, maybe good contending for the Ryder Cup team. What are guys looking for in this tournament, do you think? As a player, what are you sort of looking for, do you think?
I think you've got to have the Ryder Cup in mind. I think, yes, the Olympics is good, but like the Ryder Cup must be the end game for these players. And obviously the money they get for winning the tournament as well.
Yeah. It's a low-scoring course, so it should be good for some guys. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our picks. You got to make 6 picks. Can you make 6 picks for 50 grand? We all did, and we chose well. So I'm going to ask these guys, who are your picks? And I'm going to start with Rory, because you came in last place first. Rory, who's your first pick?
Well, you let me down last week, but that 48 win percent for the last 9 months is proving too hard to resist. I'm going to stick Jason Day.
Oh, you're going to stick with him.
Chunk of
It
my
is
money,
a
guys.
big. You think you're going to come back and have...
Yeah. I mean, you stormed out the gates at Augusta, and I was kind of sitting there Thursday afternoon in the office, like 500, 313, and then dropped 5 shots in about half an hour. But
And what was the hand gesture you were making on Sunday night?
I was punching myself, really. So, yeah, I mean, he finished tied 10 in the end at Augusta, so it wasn't a total disaster, but I'm hoping the wobbles will have been all but gone.
Big money, 12,500. A lot of middle-of-the-road guys in this tournament. You get a few guys that are big money, a few guys middle of the road. Edo, take me through number 1. Who do you got?
Paul Casey,
Oh,
at 10,600, I
Yes.
believe. He's just been so good at the moment. Tied for 4th for the Masters, tied for 9th at Arnold Palmer, number 7 at Cadillac. My only concern is, well, so in some ways, people like Day, people like Casey, they could either outclass the rest of the field. But I also look at some of the past winners, and there aren't that many huge names in there. So I wonder if maybe people will be demotivated, but Day wins a lot of tournaments. Casey has been really good, so I would trust him this time round. But it's just something that's going to be always in the back of my mind, because Spieth came here last year on the back of his Masters win, and didn't look that great. He was still top 10, but he would have been, I believe, the most expensive player at the tournament, and he wasn't exactly bang for your buck.
But it was a Jim Furyk win last year. Jim Furyk, he's a very, very finesse and technical shooter. Doesn't hit the ball big, and that's I think a lot of it's big. But you're right in that he's a solid guy. Jamie, number one, who do you have? Winner, chicken dinner. Who's your guy?
I'm coming back to Kevin Kisner. I haven't picked him for a few weeks now.
Okay.
I'm not really sure why, because he's very consistent. Fourth in the FedEx Cup standings. Lost the playoff here last year to Jim Furyk and was very unlucky. Also, I mean, he had a terrible first day at the Masters, but he recovered to tie 37th, which isn't great, but for him it's very good. 9 out of 11 cuts this season and 7th in driving accuracy, which I think will be important here. Plus, I think 9,700, he's not that expensive. He tends to pick up a lot of points on DraftKings, so I think, yeah, he's my first pick.
All right, let's get into my first pick. Let's go off. You know what? I'm a Canadian, and sometimes I choose people from my country, and I chose Mike Weir. And you know what, Mike? You sucked last week, and that sucks. But so I'm choosing Graham DeLate. Hey, I love you, Graham DeLate. It's the RBC Open, Royal Bank of Canada, which means a Canadian has to win it, right? He's funny on Twitter, and he's got a big beard. Reasons to choose a golfer? Hell no. But hitting fairways 62.9% of the time in regulation, and also 70.8% of the greens in regulation. He's been playing very well, a little frustrated. Graham DeLate on the list. Jamie, number two.
All right, he's been picked a lot on here recently, and I thought, I'm going to go for Shea Revie this week.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the reason behind it. I saw him there, and I was like, he's quite cheap, 7,600. Everyone else seems to pick him. Why can't I? 11 out of 13 cuts made, and he's 15th in driving accuracy. So
7,600, not bad.
Yeah. So, I'll get him in.
Name, Shea Revie.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that how we pronounce it? Shea?
Shea?
I'm going to go with
Shez?
Shea. I'm going with Shea. Shea Revie.
You're making him European all of a
Yeah. We're a European broadcast.
From the French Quarter in New Orleans. It's not going to claim.
It's actually pronounced New Orleans. All right. So Shea Revie. You know what? You're on Jamie's list. Edo, number two.
Brandon Grace.
Okay.
So I'm looking for disappointment from the Masters, people who want to bounce back, people who have extra motivation. He's one of them. Also a player who did well at Sawgrass at the Players, so he's got the right kind of profile. Tied for 7th here last year. Sank a long putt that was incredible. You can find it in the golf highlights. I'm not saying I based my decision on that, but it was, you see a lot of really good putts get sunk here. It's really spectacular, like that playoff you were talking about last year, which is just incredible. So, and I'm going for the contrarian pick because he burnt a lot of people. I think quite a few people did go for Brandon Grace in the end, and that did not work out for them at the Masters, so I'm hoping that this will work out.
You've chosen two guys with very large heads so far, too.
And a South African, sorry.
You've chosen, okay.
So you don't pick them because they're Canadian. I definitely pick them because they're South African. You have to have a South African in your lineup, always. It's just a rule. It's a rule, my friend.
Racism's getting hot and heavy here already on the PGA broadcast here on DK TV. You have to take a South African. Or else Edo will come to your house and kick you in the balls. Rory, second.
Matt Kuchar.
Oh, solid. Love the cooch.
Previous
Get me some
form
cooch.
at Harbour Town.
Yeah.
He won a couple of years back, defended it last year with a 5th place finish. Hits it pretty straight, which the course calls for. So 3 pretty good reasons for Cooch to be in there. Plus, I'm just looking forward to hearing people go, Cooch.
I know.
I don't hear that enough. I'll be punching myself in the face again come Sunday night.
Well, you should walk around Miami with my sister. I'm used to hearing it. Okay, my pick. You know what? I love when a boy becomes a man. I love when someone blossoms. And this man is now a man. Bryson DeChambeau played really well. I really like this guy at the Masters. Great composure. He hits it straight. Good ball control. I think he's the most anticipated probably amateur that's gone pro since Spieth. This is his first time that he's going to make money. He can now make money after having a great record at the at the Masters. And with a name like Bryson DeChambeau, he sounds like he comes from poverty. So, DeChambeau's. Oh, Bryson. He's going to make money, and I really like this guy. He's a technical golfer. He's the scientist. Bryson DeChambeau on the list. Edo, third pick. Who do we got?
I completely agree with you, Jamie. I think Kevin Kisner's going to rock it here. 9,700, so I've gone extremely heavy, top heavy. But yeah, the playoff loss was just dramatic for him, and it was one of 3 playoff losses last year before he won his first tournament. One of the other playoff losses came on another Pete Dye course, and that was obviously at the Players. So, you know, great putter, did well enough at the Masters after starting badly, but I look at how Furyk won last year, and round 4 he hit 11 out of 14 fairways, 16 out of 18 greens, and he putted 26 times. And I think Kisner can actually match that when he's hot. So, you know, as you said, it's an accuracy course.
Yeah.
I think Kisner can actually do that. You know, he's been quite consistent.
It's a consistency. It's also like keeping your calm and dealing with the weather and all that kind of thing, which a lot of guys you could see couldn't. Jamie, how about you? Who you got for third?
I think there's another man with a rather large head, Colt Knost at 7,000.
Love these American names, by the way. Colt Knost.
Colt Knost.
Sounds like a gun. Every kind of name in America sounds like a gun, but go ahead.
He's second in driving accuracy, so kind of like a gun.
Yes, it is. There you go.
Came third here in 2012, and he's made 12 of 13 cuts so far this year. Consistent, only 7,000. He's going to get me over the line.
Val, you pick. Rory, third pick.
Ditto. Ditto.
Oh, you chose Colt Knost. Oh, all right.
There's not really much else I can
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna
He's covered all the bases. The 12 out of 13 cuts and the affordableness, if that's a word, was what got me to go for Colt, and the name, obviously. Colt.
Okay, so then for me, my third pick, a guy I haven't chosen before. A lot of other guys have played. I've chosen him. He's a straight shooter, which I like. Very accurate. Hits it down straight. He avoids the trees, gets it to the greens. Kevin Na. Kevin Na at 8,700. Pretty good value. He's played all right. He's been injured a few times, but I like this guy for his accuracy. Kevin Na on the list. All right, Rory, how about your fourth pick?
I've gone for Francesco Molinari. I was kind of tempted by Luke Donald, but as we've already said, I've already gone through a decent amount of my budget with Jason Day and Matt Kuchar, and he was slightly cheaper, I think.
7,500, yep.
And Luke's done well here in the past. Similar kind of players, lots of fairways, lots of greens. I think he's 70+% in both fairways hit and greens in regulation. So if he can hold a few putts, hopefully he'll make the cut and then finish up quite high on the leaderboard.
All right, Edo, fourth pick.
Chris Kirk.
Ooh.
So yeah, what I was saying earlier about people who've done well here, my lineup so far has you know, Kisner and Grace, and he's done really well here. Okay, T69 last year, but you look at 2 tied for 27s, a tied for 30, and again, he disappointed a few people at the Masters with some very good results before then. So I can think he can carry this on in a sort of minor tournament. We've got to think more maybe Puerto Rico mentality. There's a lack of elite players here. So someone like Chris Kirk could maybe even end up wearing tartan at the end of Sunday.
Wow.
I mean, it's a big shot.
That's a very bold prediction.
You look at some of the people who've won here, and you're like, okay, why not
yeah,
him?
Furyk. You know, Furyk would have thought people would have written off the old
Boo
guy.
Weekly, yeah.
Boo Weekly. Yeah, I love his music. Who you got there, Jamie? Who's your...
I'm not really. Jamie Lovemark, 7,800. He shares my first name.
He also sounds a name that I would call you if you were a porn star.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a good enough reason to.
Jamie Lovemark. Leave that Lovemark.
I played in a few private leagues with my friends, and they always seem to pick this guy, and he always seems to do quite well for them. 10 out of 14 cuts made. Yeah, that's all.
Jamie Lovemark, you're on Jamie's list. Wow, that's great. I'm going to go with my pick, my fourth pick, Billy Horschel, 8,900. Here's the thing. I don't know if you saw that the Masters, where his 15th hole, his ball just gets blown into the water. Like, blows his ball in the water. But then, keeps it down, hits an eagle on number 8 on the Sunday, and regains composure. So I like this guy. I think with not having Spieth there, he's one of the big contenders. He's 2 top 10s, tied for 17th at the Masters. Billy Horschel, this is your tournament. You're on my list. Fifth pick, Edo.
Davis Love III. I've blown most of my money, so 6,100 is really good value. He's played here 28 times. And his profile does not actually match what you're looking for here. But since he's good at the course, I'll overlook that. Especially the driving accuracy this year really isn't there. But he's been really good here so far. And yeah, if Furyk won here last year, why not someone like Davis Love, who was impressive at the Masters, and he sprung up at various points during 2016, so why not here?
I think also Davis Love, you look at him, he's 6,100, right?
I think that's really good value.
Yeah, it is good value, but if you look at some of the earlier tournaments in the year, he was probably in the 9,000 range to start. He's dropped a couple grand.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Hole in one at the Masters as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
1 of 3 on Sunday, yeah.
There's a bunch of guys here who got really cheap. Even Harris English. I don't know if anyone's picked him, but even Harris.
Yeah.
Harris English is 6,600, I believe. And you're sort of going, that's really cheap. Like,
Well, because I think there's so many guys that are at the top. There's that glut of really good players at the top. You sort of go, well, could a man like Danny Willett come from behind? And that's what you're looking for with those value guys. Rory, how about you? Who's your 5th pick?
I've also gone for Davis Love. All the
You
reasons
guys are
Edo
Davis
said.
and Loves. Davis and lovers.
And the more he plays, the less attention he's paying to his Ryder Cup team, and I'm on Darren's side, so there we go. Play away, Davis.
Play away. Jamie, 5th pick.
I've gone for a guy that Edo's also gone for, Paul Casey. 10,800, I believe he is. It's a lot of money, but I mean, I haven't gone for any of the 12s this week, which I believe there's only one anyway. But yeah, last 3 tournaments he's been in the top 10. Really liked him at the Masters. Came tied 18th last year. 8 of 9 cuts already this year, and greens in regulation he hit 70% at the time. So yeah, and I wanted an English guy in here.
Oh, one an English guy's good. After all the English guys have done so well at the Masters, you'd think, take an English guy. Every week I always like to choose what I call like a little bit of a Cinderella story, because I love Caddyshack. But also this guy who used to play, was a good amateur, Ricky Barnes. Ricky Barnes, 5,700. Yeah, cheap. You know, sure, you could probably pick him up outside of Hooters on a Friday night, but I picked him up for 5,700. He was an amateur sensation. You know, value play or stupid play? Today I'm saying value play. Sunday I might say stupid play. Ricky Barnes, 5,700. Please do well. You're on the list. All right, our 6th pick. Yeah, the whole thing about this is you want to make sure, and that was the thing where I got messed over last week. I only made 3 guys made the cut, and then I watched Jamie take all these points, secretly hating them, and then plotting how I would get back. But who does that? So 6th pick. Rory, take me through your 6th.
I've gone for Jim Herman. Won the week before the Masters, and he did miss the cut at the Masters, but he only missed it by 3, I think. Many more experienced and higher ranked players also missed the cut by a lot more than that. And as we've been through already, I'm now scraping the bottom of the barrel for money. So yeah, Jim Herman, the Hermanator.
You think he likes being called that?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Do I care?
Yeah. It's like a Terminator will terminate.
That's his Twitter handle, isn't it? @the Hermanator.
Is that the Herminator? Oh, I don't know. I was going to say like a Terminator will terminate you, but he will herminate you.
Yeah.
Which sounds, it sounds like
questionable.
something you do like on the top of a night bus. I'm going to herminate you. No, please don't.
There you go, Jim. If you do well, I promise I'll stop calling you that.
Okay. And if you don't do well, I promise I'm going to keep calling you that.
Bashing you on Twitter.
Oh, yes. Jamie, 6th pick.
Jerry Kelly, 6,800. Always does well here, always makes the cut. Got good driving accuracy. 8 of the last 9 cuts he's made. Yeah, that's all I need to say about him, I think.
That's all you need. Edo, 6th.
Bronson Bagoon or bust. That's what I want.
You've gone for him before, haven't you?
Yes.
How did he do for you in the past?
Not well when I picked him. Yeah.
You got bagooned again, didn't you?
Yeah, I got bagooned.
You've been bagooned
Always
before in the
been
past, Edo.
I've
and
been-
you're just not.
I'm just coming
We
back to
look
the
at
well,
you like
buddy.
Full bagoon on your face, and we're just like, what happened? I got bagooned.
I got bagooned.
I know.
I just love it. Like it's.
I love it, I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I can't stop, and it's going to compromise my career. And you got to put your money where your mouth is. People look at my winnings or my lack of winnings and go, Bronson Bagoon just destroyed this man. Who else has been destroyed? Well, think about Texas A&M, where he went to university. Same as Johnny Manziel, another man who destroyed himself the Bagoon way. So why not? And Bagoon actually got married last week, so I'm counting on that whole Willett, father of Zachary factor. So why not? Also, he has surprised people this year. He did really well at Northern Trust, did quite well at Honda. So every now and then you'll see him in the top 25 and go, well, what the heck is he doing here? His stats don't match up to the course. He hasn't really played here a heck of a lot, so it's a big risk, but I don't know. It's a hunch. Or an incorrect hunch. Yeah, up to you guys, really.
We'll have to bagoon it another day and find out how you got bagooned or not.
Yeah.
You got your 6th pick. We've done.
Done?
Yeah, and I've got to do my 6th pick. I think everyone's in anticipation. I look at all the money I have left, pretty much, after I've spent my impetuousness, and my guy had left, Matt Kuchar. What you chose. 10,300, tied for 24th at the Masters. Likes his course. He won it 2 years ago. 5 top 25s. He's one of those guys, I think, that the Cooch needs to impress. He, a lot of guys, if you're not going Ryder Cup, you're going Olympics, you want to impress and try to show that you're good stuff. Matt Kuchar. He's safe, just like a condom with no holes in it. And I'm choosing you to be on my list. You're on the list, Matt Kuchar. All right, let's take a look at our lineups. Let's go through Edo's first. Big blow right there, Paul Casey, and 3 big guys that are going through. Paul Casey at 10,800. Pretty good, but good value in your values play, hoping that Bronson Burgoon gets you, and you also get some little love there on the side. Moving on to our next one, Jamie's pick. Jamie has got 2 big value plays, Casey and Kisner there, and going some value there on Kelly, Nost, and Shez. And going on to Rory. Big money on Day and Kuchar, small money on Jim Herman, and very small money again on Davis Love. Both those guys hoping that Davis Love come through. The winning lineup, let's take a look at mine. It's, hey, Canadian boy right there. Pretty balanced, aside from taking a punt on Ricky Barnes. Hey, it's what happens when you day drink. And Billy Horschel, Kevin Na, Bryson DeChambeau. Please do something, Bryson, please. You're the scientist. Yeah, of course, that was my winning lineup. Yeah, sure, I chose Ricky Barnes. Day drinking. You never know what's going to happen. It's not as funny when you do it that way. It's not as friggy. All right, make your own lineup. Go to DraftKings.co.uk. Do it right now. Do it now. Right now. Are you doing it? Go to DraftKings. Put together your own lineup. 6 men, 50 grand. What? You could win big. Lots of money. Just giving it. And use your skill. Use your brain. Put together your lineup. You could win big at the RBC Heritage thing this weekend. Welcome to DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.